Hey everyone, it's Tom Lamog, Guitars for Vets. I'm an instructor with the Cyber Chapter and with Cav Arts, the Challenge America Veteran Arts Community. Today is Module 5 of the Introduction to Acoustic Guitar, and I'm so proud of each of you who have made it this far because you're far ahead of those who are waiting to learn to play guitar, whether through the national chapter or maybe through Cav Arts, who also offers guitar lessons through the Guitars for Vets Learning Center. So give yourselves a pat on the back. You made it this far, and we just have one lesson left to go. All right. Tonight, I've got Mr. Daniel B. with me, who is going to kind of make sure that we cover all the things that you need to know in Module 5. So he will be kind of helping me out with that. And in the meantime, please feel free to ask your questions. Post them in the chat, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. But before we do that, I want everyone to grab their guitar, and I want to make sure that you're all tuned up. Did we all tune up before we got here? Okay. All right. And if you didn't, all right, let's go ahead right now and take a moment. Mute yourselves. Actually, everyone is kind of muted right now, and make sure that you tune up. Why? Why is it important to tune up before you start playing? Because, you want to play in tune for one, and it sounds better. When you're in tune, it's kind of like, it's like planetary alignment. Everything's as it should be. And then when you play with other musicians who also tune up, you're all going to complement each other rather than sounding a little flat or a little sharp. So, and even during practice, hey, it's an opportunity for you to perfect that skill of tightening or loosening those tuning pegs. Make sure that the strings, again, are in tune. All right. So let's go ahead and point out some of the things on this guitar. First of all, the tuning pegs. Point them to me on your guitar. Let's see. I want to make sure you all know what we're talking about here. You got the tuning pegs, and there are 6 of them. Let's point the nut. The nut is right here. Yes, it is. And then you've got the bridge, which is at the opposite end. The saddle as well is right in this area. You've got your fret wires, and there are all these little shiny things here, right? And the frets themselves, you play it between the fret wires, which you know. And, of course, you've got your strings. All right. And let's see, you've got the sound hole. And if you have the strap, right, you've got a strap button down here. Usually it's down here. And I've got one up here. But if you don't have one up here, usually you have to tie it off on the headstock. There you go. All right. So we got that out of the way. Let's make sure that we've got the posture correct. You've got enough room behind you. You've got enough room to move your arms. You're able to breathe. You're sitting up fairly straight. You're holding that guitar. If you got a strap, make sure that you've got it adjusted correctly. If you're just without a strap, make sure you lean it either on your leg. If you're playing classical style, between your legs. All right. And I believe we're ready to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play one note, one string at a time. One string, one note at a time with one finger. And we're going to use the 4 fingers. And we're going to start with the 6th string, and we're going to practice that chromatic skill. All right, so follow me. We want to make sure that you're applying the right pressure and that it's clean. All right, and here we go. And it's open E. First finger, 1st fret, 6th string. How's that sounding? 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 6th string. 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 6th string. 4th finger, 4th fret, 6th string. Let's now move up to the 5th string, open. 1st finger, 1st fret, 5th string. I'm just going to call out the frets now. 2nd fret. 3rd fret. 4th fret. Let's go to the 4th string. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to the 3rd string. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2nd string. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 1st string. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we made it. Now let's go in reverse. Let's go ahead and start with the 1st string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. Let's go to the 2nd string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope it's sounding clean. Open. 3rd string, 4th fret. 3, 2, 1. Open. 4th string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. 5th string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. 6th string. 4, 3, 2, 1. And open. All right, you made it all the way up and down. It's a great exercise. Again, you want to practice this to the point where it sounds clean. Play it slowly. Going slow, there's no race here. Just play it slowly. And once you start to feel like, oh, my fingers, I got this down. I've got this down. I can play it cleanly. Okay, then try the alternating pick. So it'll be for me, I do open with a down strum or down pick. 1 is up. 2 is down. 3 is up. And you get the idea, right? So it's alternating. Alternating. And, you know, up and down, up and up the neck, down the neck, picking up, picking it down, slowly, cleanly, all right? And repetition is going to help you become more comfortable with playing those notes cleanly and quickly, for that matter. Okay, there was another exercise that I had you all work on last week, and this one was picking, is focusing primarily on picking. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that together. We're going to try just the 6th and the 5th strings on that. All right? So let me count it. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'll go slower. All right, so that you get the idea. So keep up with me. I'm going to start off with the open on string 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, down, up, down, 4, down, up, down, to the open, up, down, 1, up, down, up, 2, down, up, down, up, 3, up, down, 4, down, up, down, up. This is really going to strengthen your picking ability, your picking hand. So again, go slowly, play cleanly, and when you feel like, you know what, I think I've mastered this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You'll get there. You just have to kind of be persistent, and don't be satisfied if it's messy, if it's dirty. Start over, stay slow, and keep practicing that. So we gave that a try. All right. I'm going to open up. Let me see here. I'm going to ask you all to unmute. If you have a question right now, or any thoughts on that, let's throw that out on the table right now before we move on to the next part of the lesson here. Questions?
Not really a question, but whenever I, use the pick and you go down, it keeps, you go up and down with the, each string, and it'll take you to the next, what I'm trying to say. That's helped me speed up.
Oh, good.
As you go down, right?
Yeah. And also, I mean, holding the pick, I think that the exercises within the module itself shows you how to angle the pick in a way where you could actually play faster, instead of making it completely like flat, the entire flat side of the pick on the string itself, which kind of difficult to do. But yeah, make sure you check out that lesson if you haven't done that already, for some pointers on that. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Yes.
I got a suggestion. It's the way you hold your hand as well.
Yeah.
Resting on the.
Yeah.
Way you don't, not all over the place.
Absolutely. And it's, again, if that's what works for you, and for me, I mean, I'm there with you. I'm like right there on the bridge, and resting my hand. But it's a personal, technique that if you're comfortable, and maybe just, maybe you don't have your hand there, and maybe you're using finger style and you're planting your finger. And so that might be a nice alternative as well too. But you have to find this for yourself, and it's the only way to do that is to do this through repetition and through practice. And don't insist on compromise. If it's like, this is how I'd like to play it, and you're comfortable with that and it's working for you, stick with it. All right. You could always, when you connect with an instructor or someone here on the G4V Learning Center for advice or input, we'd be happy to kind of pass on our own experience to help you out, to help you figure that out as well too. So, okay. All right, so let me go ahead and mute everyone again. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the lesson now that we've got we're a little warmed up, I think. Let's see. Share screen, and I'm going to bring up PowerPoint for ITAG. Here we are. Let's take a look at this here. Strumming fundamentals. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. Let me put this on here. I'm going to stop for just a second, stop sharing for just a second here. So the strumming fundamentals here, let's talk a little bit. Using the arm, the elbow, and the wrist. And let me kind of pin myself here on the screen. All right, there we go. All right, so using the arm, the elbow, and the wrist. So if you've gone through the module information showing you how to strum, is it like strumming with your elbow, or is it strumming with your wrist? Is it strumming with just fingers? Well, you know, it's not necessarily with the arm, but there are times where you're going to use the arm, right? Maybe you want to play louder, or if you just want to kind of pick the strings themselves. There's no real movement with the elbow. It's all within the wrist. And then, of course, if you're using, you know, your finger style, then you're probably not going to be moving your wrist at all. You're moving your fingers. So depending on the style of guitar that you're playing, it could be the elbow, it could be the arm, and it could be the wrist, or it could be the fingers. It really depends on what your style is. What we're running through today, since I'm playing with a pick today, it'll likely be just the wrist. It'll be just the wrist motion up and down. I know that I have actually used my arm when I want to play louder, but that's not necessarily the case tonight. Tonight we'll just go ahead and focus on strumming with the wrist. All right, and your pick. If you're using finger style, then no need to move your wrist. Just use your fingers. Okay. Counting quarter notes and eighth notes is on tonight's agenda as well too, so we're going to go through that. We're not going to go too deep technically, but just know that when we talk about counting or keeping beat or keeping time, when you hear, and you may have seen this on music programs or maybe through some of the other videos that you watch, to keep time, people count 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just our way of kind of keeping everyone together, keeping that beat. If we're going to be playing a song, that we want to follow a certain beat so no one goes too far ahead or falls too far behind. We all try to keep up using that beat. And we're going to talk about quarter notes and eighth notes and the golden rule of strumming. The golden rule of strumming, pretty easy concept, really. You know, when you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and every time you say a number, you're going to be strumming down. Right? You're going to be strumming down. 1. In fact, let's all do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're counting quarter notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we count eighth notes, we throw the and in there. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if the numbers are down, the and is up. All right, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that right now. You can hit all 6 strings, or you don't have to hit all 6 strings. You can just hit a few. And I'm muting mine right now, but if you want to play a chord, by all means, go for it. All right, so let me count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. So we're just kind of going through these motions right now. The golden rule of strumming: numbers, strum down, and you're strumming up. So let me bring back the diagram here. And if you're following along, this is the page that you're on. Let's see here. Okay, here we are. So these are the downward strum. We're talking about the quarter notes. And remember, numbers, we're strumming down. Okay? And you see the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the direction of the strum. So what I'm showing you right now in the pages that are about to come, you're going to see, what does this all mean? The numbers and the arrows. It means down strum on the numbers here. And then on the eighth notes, we just did the 1 and 2 and. You're seeing the direction of the arrow, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You see the strum is going down. And then you see the arrows pointing up as an upstroke. So that's what it's going to look like. So we've now vocalized counting quarter notes and eighth notes. And then we were talking about the golden rule of strumming being the numbers go down, the ands go up. There's also D, U, D, U. So downward strum D, upward strum U. Really, if you go to like ultimateguitar.com and you see sheet music, or you see some of the charts, some of the the song sheets that they post up there, you're going to see arrows, you're going to see numbers, you may see down up. This is just to kind of give you an idea as to what to expect. This is how it kind of looks if you wanted to go and find a song in the strumming pattern. So that's the golden rule of strumming. Any questions about that? I'm going to stop right now, and I'm going to, let's see here. Forgot how to do this. Here it is, I think. No, I don't remember. Hang on a second. Now that I've pinned myself to the screen here, let me get the gallery back up. Questions on the golden rule of strumming, or the strumming itself. I know we haven't gotten into, do I have to strum all the strings yet? We'll get that in just a minute. But you got the 1, 2, 3, and 4 down. If it's the and, it's up. You're now counting quarter notes, and you're now counting eighth notes, without getting too deep into the technical side of the theory of it. This is, again, how you keep beat with other players, or for yourself, you want to keep a steady beat when you make your way through your practice, through playing, and counting is the way to do it. All right. Any questions? Okay. And my guess is there anything in the chat, Dan? Okay, thanks. Thank you. All right, good. All right, let's see here. Let us move on to, let me get the presentation back up here. Without having to show this to you. This is foot stomping and feeling the rhythm, and I'm going to just kind of demonstrate to you. We can approach this mechanically. Okay, we could either say, okay, I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or you can make it fun and get your body language into this, just to kind of like, feel the rhythm, feel the beat. You could do that instead of just, being stiff. It's like, I gotta keep the beat on. That's not fun. What's fun is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and you gotta feel the music, right? And that's kind of what makes it enjoyable. At least for me, it does. You can, if you really want to not really put any feeling or emotion into it, but it kind of reflects in your playing. So stay loose, have fun, play clean, and that foot stomping, feeling the rhythm is all a part of that. So here's what I want to do. Let's do the E minor. Let's do an E minor, right? First finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. Second finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. Okay, and here's what we're going to do, is we're just going to do E minor, up and down, 1 and 2 and 3, and feel it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now, here let me show you this diagram. If you're following the presentation, you're using your foot as well. You know, you can use your foot to do the keeping the time, keeping the beat. And that's what I do that, particularly when I'm sitting down. It's like, all right, you know, 1 and 2. If you could just kind of picture my foot kind of like 1 and 2. And because it's like, you know what? It kind of does help with the playing. And if you want to play it loud, or if you want to just like play it hard, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So when you use this foot stompin', feel the rhythm method, it really gets your body into playing. And you know, if you take a look at some of the musicians, maybe some of your favorite musicians, some of them will go ahead and move around stage, and some of them will stand, and some of them will move and groove and all that, and they're feeling the rhythm is what they're doing, and you can do that as well too. So that's how we do it. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's down, just like a strum. You're actually stepping down with your foot, and then the ands, just like you're going up, that foot is actually coming up. So let's give that a try. Let's try a couple of different chords here with this one here. I'm going to go ahead and try the E major. Let's do E major, and then let's do A major. E major. You guys remember how to do E major? Let me see. I want to see it. Let me see. I'm going to do this. I want to see everyone. Oops. Stop this here. I need to see everyone make the E chord. Hold it up to the camera, folks. Let's see if you make it. I want to see you do it. Very good, DJ. Kathy, you got it. Lonnie, you're good. Rich, I see ya. Bill, thank you. Tomas, great. Dave, you know what you're doing. Guitars for Vets admin who is that? Who is that? I knew it was Mr. Lilly. You need to go to class, my friend. No, you need to do class, actually. Yes, I want to make sure everyone's got that E chord correctly. Now strum. Is it clean? I hope it is. I hope you've been practicing too. Okay, now let's do the A. Let's do A. So everyone, show me the A chord. Show me how you're doing A. Oh, bar chord. Thank you, Dan. You're so funny. Yeah, you could do the bar chord, but that's not tonight's exercise. Thank you, Kathy, DJ, great. Dave Yoder, great. Jim Mabry, great. Rich, you're there. Bill's good. Tomas, yes. And Lonnie, thank you. All right, so we're gonna count 4. We're gonna do 1 and 2 and 3 and then we're gonna transition to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then go back to E for 4, and then A for 4. We'll go slowly, okay? But I want you to feel the beat. If you can feel the beat with me here, it'll be fun. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A. 1 and 2 and 3 and back to E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to A. 1 and 2 and 3. Let's go back to E. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and back to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and back to E. Okay, now that's going to take a little bit of practice for sure, but now you know how to feel that rhythm. It's basically use that foot, get that foot into it, get your body into it, play it, and there's something happening here. What it is, ain't exactly clear. I mean, you gotta feel your way through these songs, and this is the way to do it. So good luck with that. All right, the next page we have here, to strum or not to strum. We're going to continue. Let me bring this back up on screen, the presentation. And let's take a look at to strum or not to strum. So where are we here? Okay, so you're looking at a ultimate guitar chart, and you see either, down arrows with some up arrows or grayed out arrows. The truth of the matter of strumming is you don't have to strum on every beat or every upbeat. You just don't need to. If that were the case, then you'd probably not see or hear a whole lot of variety in music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through what we see here on screen right now. We've got the down arrows, we've got the up arrows, and we've got the grayed out arrows. The grayed out arrows are not played. Now, when it comes to strumming, the idea here is you're going to always do the down up motion. And with those arrows that are pointing down or pointing up in there, you play them, then obviously you're going to play the strings. But when you're seeing a gray arrow there, that means don't make contact with the strings. Okay? So to strum or not to strum, let's see, let's go through this one together. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to do a down, up, 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 down, up. So again, you don't have to strum on every beat or every upbeat. It is just strum on those beats that either are red or blue. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a try. And I'm just, I'm just muting my strings here. And if you have a question about muting strings, it's basically I'm taking all 4 of my fingers here and I'm just lightly touching all of the strings so they're covered. And when I strum it, it's not making a tone. All right, so that's kind of how to deaden the strings there. So let's try this together. I'm going to count slowly, and then just follow the direction of the arrow and the number. And let's get to the other side. We're going to run through this one twice. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let me stop this for just a moment here and see how you all did. Who made it? You guys make it through okay? Was that easy to interpret? I mean, it's, up, down, gray. How did y'all do? Let me see your, yeah, yes. Anyone have problems, any challenges on this one that we need to talk through? Okay. All right, great. Let's go back to the presentation again here. And what I want to do is go to the next page. I'm glad you all made it okay. Yeah, strumming is pretty challenging, but again, if you slow it down, you take your time, and you practice diligently, and just dedicate yourself to making sure that that you're doing this correctly, then you're going to get it. You're going to get it. So, all right, let's take a look at this strum pattern. This strum pattern, it looks like, this is one of those rare occasions where you're strumming through the whole thing. You're strumming up and down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this together, all right? And then we're going to talk about, some other things that you need to know about this particular strumming pattern. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and mute your strings again. And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and I want to make sure that the posture is correct. Are you just using your wrist? 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right. Okay, so let me stop this presentation for just a moment. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and here's the thing. We throw accents in these notes every now and then. So if you were to play the same way on every single down and upbeat, it could sound pretty monotonous. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so those accents are not placed anywhere on that diagram that I had shown you. There are, just keep that in mind, is that when you're playing that particular strum, is it asking for you to kind of make it sound the same, monotonous all the way through, or does it give you the opportunity to accent some of the notes and make it sound, a little more interesting? Okay, so that's strum pattern number 1 and something else you need to know. Thoughts, comments, questions on that one? Good. Now you know how to do it. One more time, everyone. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. This time I want you to accent every one. Every time I say 1, you're going to play it louder. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2 and 3 and okay. Now this time we're going to do 1 and 3. You're gonna play it louder on 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 great. All right. So now you have an idea as to why you would use that strum and embellishing it a little bit with accents. Let's go on to the next strumming pattern. Let me bring up the presentation again. Give me a moment. Okay. Strumming pattern number 2. Let's take a look at this here. Looks like there is really just an upstroke that is not played, but we're playing just about everything else. Let me go ahead and give this a try. You're welcome to join me when you're ready. All right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. All righty. Oh, that's another. Let me see here. Let's see if I can give me a moment here. Let me look for something to give you an example about how we might play that in a song. And I'm going to bring up the IJAM playbook real quick here. Let me see if I can do this. Stop. And share this. Are we just pulling these strumming patterns out of thin air? No, of course we're not. There's a reason for this. And let me just bring up, let's see if this is.
They match to the picture, Crosby.
Dude, you're so right.
Stills and then the other one was Bob Dylan.
The other one was Bob Dylan. Yeah. So let me hear. I'm gonna.
Joni Mitchell, was that Joni on the next one?
That was
Joni.
Listen, you're giving away all the secrets. Shh. Jeez.
Well, I'm showing my age. Showing my age, Tom.
You're so funny. All right. I believe one of these strumming patterns here. Have you ever seen? Okay, well, I'm gonna show you this one here right now. See, this is just a page out of the upcoming IJAM, and we're gonna show you strumming patterns and how to play them. And let's just do this one real quickly here. So down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you have an idea. I mean, there's a reason why we throw these strumming patterns at you. There are a few that are popular, and there are a few that are like, wow, this is different. But we want to make sure you understand this is a recommended way to strum through a particular song. And the more that you become more familiar and comfortable with reading these strumming patterns themselves, the more you can apply them to popular songs like this one. Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. Okay. If you want to get through the rest of that song, you're going to have to join me first Thursday of next month, and we'll talk through that. But see, I mean, these are things that I'm going to show you another strumming pattern for what it's worth. I mean, this is the strumming pattern that we use. So this is not anything that we're just saying, learn it. It's because there's some real benefits to you taking this information that you're practicing right now and actually applying it to songs that exist out there. And we want you to have fun with that. So we're going to help you with these different strumming patterns. All right. So let me stop sharing this screen here, and let's move on to the next strumming pattern. And that next strumming pattern, let's see. Go back to here. Slide text. And here we go. Bob Dylan, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Joni Mitchell. Yes, here we go. All right, let's take a look at this strumming pattern here, and we're going to strum through this one together. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, this one's pretty cool. All right, let me go ahead and start slowly. Follow if you can. All right, catch up when you're able to. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I think of Proud Mary when I hear that strumming pattern. But yeah, this is another one of those popular strumming patterns that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and left did a good job in the city. All right, so you get an idea that that's one of the strumming patterns for that particular song, and so many more. So that's how you play. That's how we break it down for you. Okay. Let me stop this for just a moment here and see if there are any comments, any questions. I'm sorry if I've missed the questions in the chat. Let's see if we can go back here. Dan, was there anything in here that was... Okay. Rich, where does accent go here? On number 2. On number 2. You know... the answer to the question for that is depending on the right. I mean, you throw the accent in for, you know, wherever it needs to go in the song. So, I mean, it's not like there's a rule, one rule that applies to every single song that uses that particular pattern. It really depends on where it fits in the song. So, similar pattern. But the songwriter may throw the accent in any portion of that phrase, and so I can't really tell you the answer to that. Just take a listen. It's yeah. it could be anything. It could go anywhere. So versus the other one, the first one, which is like, okay, it's just a constant up and down, and it gets a little monotonous after a while. Here's something for you to think about, and that is try that pattern and try throwing the accent in, anywhere, where any of the numbers, any of the ands, and see how that sounds, and then identify a song that might use that particular pattern. Okay, sorry I couldn't be really a definitive answer there for you. Okay, oh Dan, you got the answer there. I see the answer. Okay, good. All right, let's see here. Let's now move on to the next strumming pattern. Let me bring up the presentation again. Oh, is this helpful? Is I know strumming is not one of the easier techniques to learn, but we're breaking it down for you, so I'm hoping that this is of value to you, and certainly I'll stick around after class, or you can bring up your questions to the community. Open it up to everyone. So I hope this is of help to you all. Let us now move on to strumming pattern number 4. All right, so what do we got here? We've got the upbeat on 2 and 3, beats 2 and 3. We're not playing. Let's see if we can figure this one out here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So four strumming patterns, four strumming patterns that are fairly popular, and four strumming patterns that we definitely use in the IJAM Play Along. So if you're interested in putting these, or even putting your skills out reading, these different strumming patterns in actual songs, then please join me on Thursday. I think it's the next one is, I want to say May 2nd. May 2nd is a Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And we are going to be going through a whole bunch of popular songs like we have been doing these last few months every first Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, called the IJAM Play Along. Look for that. And it's something that you can go ahead and start to quickly improve your strumming simply by, attending this workshop with me, and we'll walk through the strumming pattern together. We'll play it fairly slow at first. And if you don't want to wait till then, by all means, there are other resources that are available to you that can help you with strumming patterns, different strumming patterns, how to read them and how to play them. All right. So that's it. Those are the four strumming patterns that we are introducing you to. I'm going to stop sharing this presentation. Pretty dry learning until you can play it against a song. So now here's my question to the group. Let's go back to the chords. Let's talk about the chords, the open chords. And I would like to know how many of you are comfortable with the 5 major chords that we've shared with you. That would be C, A, G, E, and D. How many of you are comfortable knowing where to put your fingers at? And it may not be fairly clean right now, but you know how to get there. How many of you, raise your hand, thumbs up, are feeling pretty good? That's awesome. All right. Well, if you're feeling comfortable, I suggest you join me. You make sure to take a look at the IJAM Play Along for next week, or not next week, Thursday, but Thursday, May 2nd, and make your plans. I've got the song charts out there. I've got the strumming patterns embedded in the song charts, and you can start to practice before we all meet up. Okay? Now, if you're still working on making those clean chords, those clean chord sounds, keep at it. You can still come join us. I say you're welcome to join us. And even if you don't want to practice strumming patterns, if you just want to say, okay, I just want to practice chords, I want to practice C. I'm going to play C, and then when I play G, I'm just going to do a single strum. And I'm going to play a single strum D. Whatever the chords are in the song that we're going to be playing, by all means, come join us. I think the more that you're able to play in a play along or a jam situation, gives you an opportunity to put the things that you've learned to the test into things that are, out there. People are jamming. People are getting together to play some of these songs, and you can do it too. You've come this far, Module 5. So anyway, with that said, we are pretty much coming to the end of the workshop here, and I want to make sure that everyone's mic is open. I'll go ahead and unmute, and let's go ahead and let's field any questions here. That first of all, about the strumming patterns themselves. Is that clear? Is the information that we've provided to you in the modules and in tonight's handout itself, is it clear to you? Does it make sense? Any comments? Go ahead, Dave. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I put the guitar up and down for many, many, many years, and this is the first time that I was actually motivated me to stay with it.
Cool.
So, and awesome. This really happened because when I got my first lesson last week with Dave, he's like, "Okay, you graduated."
Nice.
But because all of this really put it together for me.
Oh, nice.
So
It's
for me, it really helps and keeps me motivated. I'm in here, a couple hours a day now, looking at different stuff and trying to play different things.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you were able to take some information from these online lessons and apply them. And kudos to your instructor Dave as well too for showing you the way. Lonnie, you had a comment?
Yeah, on the strumming patterns, and you're trying to put them into a song. Do you assume it's 4/4 count or eighth notes based on the pattern?
The easy answer to that is you just have to kind of learn how to count. So it's either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then once you figure out is it 3, 4, is it 4, 4? If it's 4, 4, then start counting. Does it feel like it's 1 and 2 and 3? Are there things that are in between the numbers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 or is it 1, 2? Like ballads, sometimes it's just 4, but if it's like a more upbeat tune, there are things that are going between those numbers, and then chances are it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But that's my perspective. That's how I interpret it. And let me share this question with my colleagues and get their perspective, because again, this is all so personal to each of us musicians. So Paul, I'm going to throw it to you. You have a thought on that?
Great question, Lonnie. There's a couple things, one of the things about being an instructor is you become a better player. So I keep learning on the backs of my students. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but when it comes to strumming, a lot of times when you see those arrow patterns, they're going to give you a number that either ends in 4 or ends in 3. There might be plus signs, or if it's really crazy strumming, it might be divisible by 4 or divisible by 3. But I think what's more helpful, at least was more helpful for me, and Tom is such a wonderful teacher. He did a lot of this. When we're presented with the strum pattern, there's two things that are happening. There's the mathematical part of looking at arrows and numbers and counting, and then there's the feel. And we really want to be well-versed in both. And we learn differently. Some of us are more oriented to the counting and they could get to that really quickly. Some of us can't count at all, but we feel the beat. So one of the things that's helpful, Kathy and I were just kind of sharing in the chat, when I come to a strum pattern, before I even mute my strings and pick up the guitar, I'm looking at it visually, and I'm either going down, 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 up, down, down, or I'm saying 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So I'm doing a couple things. I'm verbalizing what my strumming hand should do. I'm also, if you saw Tom, he was rocking, but there's a part of my body, in addition to my tongue, that's moving, whether it's a rocking or my foot. But it really helps to kind of think about it first in your head as vocalizing the strum pattern. Then it's really easy just to kind of grab your guitar, mute the strings, and down, 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 up, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. And so the 3, 4, and 4, 4, that's a whole time signature thing. You still got to figure out how to strum between an arrow and a missed space. So it's kind of the same thing. It just changes the counting that you could do it in.
Thank you very much.
You are more than welcome.
Okay, real good. Questions. Any more that we can answer for you? Yes.
So looking at your coming up for May 2nd on your PowerPoint here.
Yeah.
You have the strum pattern on top, which is great. I love it. Okay. But how do you equate that, and where do you put that in with the verse and the words? I always struggle with this when it's laid out like this.
Yeah.
Is there any guidance?
Well, let's see. Yeah, when you take a look at these chord charts, it doesn't show you the rhythm. It doesn't show you where the vocals and the chords, and that's sheet music. That's
right,
what I usually go to.
On your PowerPoint where you made it,
yeah,
you have the chords there and the words. So let's say on the very first one, Margaritaville, page 1, are you strumming the D? How many measures?
Right. And that's a good question, and I can tell you I lead the workshop itself, and I start by demonstrating the strum pattern, and then I'll go ahead and I'll start the song. I'll start to sing the song itself, and there isn't. If you're familiar with the song, it's fairly easy to get through. But if you don't know the song, then it's probably going to be a little more challenging. But we typically answer the questions when we perform it there live.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Yeah, and yeah, it's if we were to be able to do sheet music, that would be awesome. But I don't think everyone knows how to read that, unfortunately.
Hey, Rich, just an idea about that though. Again, being a really visual learner, if you like go to Ultimate Guitar tab and you print out Margaritaville,
Right.
it's going to give you the lyrics with the little chord symbols above the lyrics.
Right.
And with that in front of you, without holding your guitar, put on Margaritaville and hear when the chord switches. So that song vamps on a D chord for a long time. So I'm not quite sure how it's written on the chord sheet.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good chord sheet, and that's a question mark, and
Right.
sometimes they aren't lined up well, but a good chord sheet will have chords above the lyrics when you switch. But it's always good to kind of just with the sheet music in front of you, just listen to see if you can hear when he's changing from a D to an A to an E or whatever it is. And that's kind of the beginning of ear training to help with that.
Okay. Yeah, I struggle with that a lot. That's why I'm asking. Thanks.
Understandable. And when I was first introduced to chord charts like that after taking piano lessons and being in band and orchestra and stuff like that, it's like, what is this? But
there's actually in one of our modules, the I Sing and Play, there's a whole lesson on the lyrics lining up with the chords for you to help know when you transition with the chords. So it's not teaching a strumming pattern, but it is just what we were saying about being able to visualize a chord sheet. And since I wrote that module, I think we may have used a Beatles song. I'm not sure, but there's an actual example of that in the ISAP program.
All right. So let me do this. We're going to, let me just bring this up.
I like
real quick
Kathy's
here.
question.
Let's see here.
What's next?
I am going to bring up just a page of the IJAM Play Along for the month of May. That's coming up here. And I'll just bring up Margaritaville. All right, so let's take a look at this. So let's put this to use right now. The strumming pattern. Let's figure out this strumming pattern together. I'll go ahead and unmute everyone. And let's strum through this. Just, again, mute your strings. I'll count. I'll play it. You follow with me. Catch up if you have to. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 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 3, and 4, and nibbling on sponge cake. All of those tourists covered with oil. Strumming my strict string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp that beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of soul. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. All right, so there's that's just a glimpse, just a little bit of how we get through the song. It's just, I'll start the strumming pattern, and you do your best to make it through the song using that strumming pattern. And if that doesn't quite feel right for you, and it's like, no, there's something I want to try that's a little different, then you can go ahead and give it a try, experiment with it, make it a little bit more your style of playing. So there's just a real quick intro to the IJAM Play Along. So I hope you can join us for that. We've got a whole bunch of songs, and if you help yourself to a copy of the booklet, the music book itself, and start playing, by the time May 2nd comes rolling around, you might surprise yourself. It's like, yeah, these strumming patterns aren't so tough. They look harder than they really are when you read them. It's like, oh gosh, this is kind of complicated. But get your body into it and feel the rhythm, and it'll come to you. So I am going to unmute everyone once again here. Any final thoughts? Any comments? Because we're kind of at the end of the 5 modules, the workshop itself. We've armed you with everything that we think you're going to need to at least get you to the next level of your guitar journey. And that's taking all of these skills and putting them to use, and maybe picking up one of your favorite songs and learning to play it. Take care. Thanks again for attending, and I appreciate it. Good luck. You bet. Good luck on your guitar journey. We're going to be here cheering you on. Take care, everyone.